Hey guys, did you miss me? Welcome back. I know we were like gone for like a month, but now we're back. Welcome back to Meet My Super Cool Friends, where I talk about AI, marketing, branding, anything I wanna with some super cool people that just so happen to be my homies. So today we're gonna talk about AI automation and marketing. I know that we've been seeing a lot of things pop up all over the place. I mean, not only do we have the flyers, because we did talk about design, but Claude has been doing a lot in the space. And even before that, MailChimp was an automation. So we have all these wonderful things to talk about. And we are going to be talking about it with my super cool bestie, Monique.
Yay!
Yay!
I love how your pitch just went up. It makes me feel so special.
Yo, I'm so gassed. Can I tell you? Yeah, I love it. And for somebody I know that's been doing this automation thing from before it was trending.
Mhm.
So happy to have you here because you've been talking about it from time and a day. But first, tell us a little bit about yourself. Introduce yourself to the peoples.
Okay, I am Monique MJ Lawrence. I'm a branding and marketing strategist, and I'm the founder of MJ Branding and Media. I've spent about 20 years in marketing, working across like multiple brands, like corporate, entrepreneurs, real estate, events, media, and campaign execution. And my work is really about helping brands to show up clearly and consistently. We're doing that through strategy and content and campaigns and websites and branded experience, all the things, right? So over the years, I've become very, very interested in how systems, I'm going to stress on systems, and AI and automation can really help businesses to reduce the overwhelm and to protect their brand's voice and just overall execute better.
Love that. All right, I love that you said systems. I know we're gonna
Mhm.
get deeper into it. So, like, tell me, like, when did it start? When were you introduced to this kind of systems, type automations of it all?
All right. So when I look back, like you said earlier in the introduction, automation, it didn't start for me with AI. It started with just simply trying to reduce repeated friction. So we started with things like forms and templates and scheduling tools, email marketing, those kinds of things. So anything that helped to make the work easier to manage.
Mm. Okay, cool. So, like, what problem were you trying to solve when you thought about the system? Like, the first thing, the first spark of a problem you were trying to solve, when you said, "Okay, let me just get into the systems automation thing."
Honestly, my problem. So my problem was the mental load, and the execution drag that I had to go through with all of the clients and all of their different problems. So before I had proper systems, too much depended on just simply memory and
Mm.
manual follow up. I might know exactly what needed to happen, but I still had to touch too many parts of the process myself, and that was a problem. So things like client requests and approvals and simple things like caption writing, design tasks, and reporting, all of those things. So when those things are not systemized, your brain becomes the project management system, and that's just not sustainable. Like, we don't want to be there. So
We don't want to be
automation,
there.
yeah, no, automation helped me to start moving from or some of the weight out of my head and put it actually into a process. So a point I want to make is that it doesn't remove the human work, because people think that, okay, automation and that's it. No. So we're not talking about just the human work. We're talking about the friction around the work. So thank you to automation for giving me back some mental space, because I just didn't have any more to give. So yeah.
So, like, when you talk about like the friction work for you, like, what does that look like to you? Like, so you talked about like the client requests or the just answering our clients and stuff like that. Because that is
Mhm.
so interesting to me, especially because I feel like I'm always deep in admin. So like
Yeah.
apart from those, like 'cause admin is a thing for we don't want admin. We're creators. What me other admin for?
It's something that we don't prepare for, in all honesty. I mean, you go to school, you make the courses, and you figure out or find out how to execute, how to create this thing or create these things. But
Mm-hmm.
then when you're doing something on your own, like as a freelancer, even just as an executive for a company, there are these other aspects of the job that we weren't prepared for. So
Mm-hmm.
those are those administrative things, and then those things just get in the way of execution completely. Like, have you ever been to? You ever had a meeting to go to? They talk through all of those things that you need to get done, and then you come out of the meeting, and somebody else says, "Hey, did you get this thing done?" You're like, "When will I get it done? Because we just met about this, and you asked me for a meeting about the meeting, and then when am I going to execute?"
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
man.
So
It's
the
the
friction
update to the
of
update.
yeah, the friction of the simple administrative tasks, the meetings, the phone calls, the emails, all of those things that get in the way of actually getting the job done. I think automation really helps to support that problem or that gap.
Yeah, okay. So like how drastically did your day to day work change once you started using the system or letting the systems do the heavy lifting for you?
Um, it changed the way I thought about execution.
Hmm.
Right? So I stopped seeing systems as something extra, and I started seeing them as part of the creative process. So a good system protects creativity because it reduces the all the stuff going on around it, all of the noise around it. So like when your intake is clear, then your team works fast. Or when the workflow is clear, then the client asks fewer, "Where are we now? What's happening now?"
Mm.
And then for from an execution standpoint, if you're using templates, when the templates are clear, then the execution becomes more consistent as well as speedy. And what else? Things like follow-up. So if follow-ups are automated, then we have fewer opportunities to fall through any cracks. So the best change or the biggest change was that I could spend more time thinking strategically and less time constantly trying to remember what needed to happen next.
Got it, got it. All right, walk us through your current automation stack. What tools are you using for your day to day?
Okay. Okay, before I list the tools, I always like to bring it back to the need, right?
Okay.
So I feel like it needs to be said, this needs to be said. The tool is not the hero. The tool is not the hero. What do you think the hero is?
You. Sure. Oh, to me, before we look to tool, we have to understand exactly what we need to
Yeah,
free up what we
yeah,
need. So we can, from that we can able to kind of like see what works best for us.
yeah, yeah. You're absolutely right. I agree with that. So for me, I'm saying the tool isn't the hero. The hero is actually the workflow. That so once you
Mm.
have that workflow, baby, you are on. Okay, nobody
Damn.
can talk to you, and everything is just breathing and running smoothly. Yeah. So I like to break marketing support into an acronym for market, MARKET. So it's a market support check. I'm gonna run you through it really quickly, right?
Please do.
M is for managing the work. Then we have attracting the audience, repurposing content, MARK, keeping the communication moving, evaluating performance, and then tying all the tools together. So instead of asking, what should I use? I think marketers should really ask, what kind of support do I need right now? Do I
Mm.
need help with managing tasks and deadlines, or repurposing content, or tying all my tools together? So going through that list of markets, and I can share all of that with you. But for me, my baby is ClickUp. Okay, so ClickUp helps me to manage the work. Yeah,
One click up, never two. One click up.
Not putting down any others because they're really good project management systems out there. But for me, mine is ClickUp, right? And then when we look at protecting my time and reducing the back and forth, I use Calendly for my bookings and my appointments.
Mhm.
And because I do a lot of social media, organic and paid solutions, for that I use Metricool, and that helps me to schedule um, doing scheduling and performance tracking.
Mm.
Adobe tools help me with my creative production because I'm just an Adobe girly, right? Just an Adobe girly.
I'm gonna convert it to Canva, to
I was
Calendly, to
gonna say
Canva soon.
you also have Canva, and I realize that you have been advocating for Canva more than usual now.
I'm a big Canva advocate. When you start using their AI tools, especially
Mhm.
magic layers, especially.
I'm not gonna knock it, right? Because what I rate about Canva is that they have been improving so quickly and just stepping up to the plate and just going paces faster. And I don't know if it's a thing where it's because it's a smaller company where it has more grit and wanting to
Hmm.
more go faster. And I feel like Adobe sometimes is really catching up, or they were comfortable in the space before. I think that is it. I think they were comfortable in the space and didn't realize that somebody could jump in the way that Canva jumped in. So for that, I get to Canva, but I'm still an Adobe girly. That's just
Yeah,
where I'm comfortable in.
yeah.
Um,
And as a sorry to interrupt you, but as a Adobe person, as an Adobe girly, same these for realsies. I do find though that because of what you're so used to in Adobe with your workflow,
mhm,
it's difficult over by Canva. Being an Adobe girly, you find that there are a lot of the things that Canva does. I always lead back to Canva, and Canva don't even want to give me like ambassadorship, So that's part about it. But anyways, so it is a situation now where you find that there's that difference, but then when you look at AI like Claude, who and a lot of the other apps that integrate so seamlessly with Canva to help with your workflow process.
mhm.
I find
But
that
that's the
super
thing too.
interesting.
Yeah, it's that Canva has intentionally created these spaces for the top tools to integrate itself with. So it's like you have no choice. Like why not? It's so convenient. I mean, it's right there. And anything that you
Yeah.
choose, there's something that says, "Oh, do you want to add Canva to this?" Yes. It makes you want to say that, or on the other side, if you're not usually a Canva person, you're gonna see that and you're like, okay, eventually it's just gonna make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually pay for my Canva Pro along
Mm,
with that full Adobe
you have full
subscription.
of it. I mean, say you have full of it, you have full of it. You pay for it. Yeah.
Girl, I have it for because God know me and Premiere and After Effects, like it's not working out very well, but Canva fills that gap.
You see, once you
Yes.
decide to commit and pay one of those subscriptions, because those subscriptions they add up, and you have to really process the commitment. Because I'm also very intentional with my subscriptions. At the same time, I don't want to do one of those tests that shows you how much money you're spending on. So I don't want to do that. But I don't know where I'm going with this. But yeah, that means you must read enough Canva, and I get it. I get it. But
I
yeah.
get it. But then also, like you talk about subscriptions, a lot of these things that you use, do they carry subscription? Of course, I think Calendly has an awesome tool
Hmm.
because I actually paid for it for 2 months for some consultation thing I was doing with somebody and they asked me please sweet him and they asked me to please use Calendly and I'm just like let me just pay for it and it was like $10. It's not a lot of money
Yeah.
and the automation on that girl, oh my god.
Saves so much time. Like I love when I just open my calendar and I see all of these things happening, and I'm like, I didn't have to do any of this. I was just out doing my work or out taking care of the kids or whatever. I was just lifing, and it's just working in the background. For me, those are the best systems. Those are the best AI tools, the ones that can help you to do things when you're not around. But
Hmm.
outside of Canva and what was it, Calendly.
You
ClickUp.
talked about
So Google
metrical.
Works, yeah, Metricool. Google Workspace, like
Mhm.
the simple Google Workspace that supports documents and forms and just collaboration. That's what I use. I mean, if anybody knows me, you know I'm a spreadsheet girly. So I'm using Google Sheets for everything, right? And then for communication, you have WhatsApp Business, sending me emailing. When it comes to connecting the systems, though, have you used any tools like Zapier or Make?
No.
Yeah.
I've I have I believe I have a sign up with Make.
Hmm.
I have tried Notion only because Claude told me that it's a good tool.
Hmm.
And Notion itself with the integration in the automation and integration with your with iPhone shortcuts, which I found out that there's a shortcut tool on the iPhone that can give you like a cool AI tool. Like it can even AI, it's just like a tool where it can draw like all of your messages together and give you like a brief on your I didn't even know that until like I was trying to just find out a way for me to just prompt my blogs that
Hmm.
I'm writing. That's where so I've used Notion and that integrates a lot of different or that pulls from a lot of different spaces.
Hmm.
And through that I was able to get like the reminders that pop up for me if I need like to remind me to just check a blog or
Hmm.
check something. So but I feel like I remember Make.
Hmm.
I feel like I remember Monique and I feel like I did sign up for something.
Yeah, but
Zapier is Zapier has like a green logo, not true?
I don't remember what the logo is.
Is that the one that like can read it? That's interesting. How did you do that? is
Oh,
is
Apple.
Zapier? I
Oh, Apple. You're killing us over here.
don't want to. Is that? Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I
For
can find
Zapier?
it.
You want to know what the logo is for Zapier?
Oh, is this? Is it this?
No.
Oh, this though. This
It's
reads
like
this
a
the
orange.
voice notes. Zapier. This though, cause you know I hate
Mhm.
a voice note. This would listen. This transcribes the voice notes, and
What's
like it
that?
helps you to like
What's it called?
Zapier, Zapier, and it helps you to it does that, and it also helps you to like answer. So you can tell it to answer people, and you can automate it to listen to your voice notes like every 15 to 10 minutes.
It helps you to answer people, Marishka.
It does help you to.
You could definitely use that, don't you? It's
You see,
love.
liberty taking. But
This is why
anyways.
it's called super cool friends, which mean we are friendly. So you be careful.
So you know, say how me dislike a voice notes. Hey, and if one thing people when give you very big instructions in a voice note.
Oh yeah.
So
Yep. Yep.
this is one of my favorite tools. I'm gonna look up the one that you said though because now I'm intrigued. Cause one
Because
thing about me now.
Zapier is what really
Hmm?
it creates the bridge between the tools that you use. So that's basically what it does. So I can tell Zapier to when somebody adds something to add a row to my spreadsheet, it puts something into my ClickUp in a certain task, or like it links tools to be able to have the automation done when you're wondering how am I going to get this, and if I'm using this tool for that and another tool for
Hmm.
this, how do I connect it without having to manually do things all the time? So that's what Zapier and Meek does. So the connection. And then there's regular Chat GPT. I use Chat GPT to organize my ideas. I use it for drafting and repurposing. I use it to structure content and build standard operating procedures and
You
just
see me
thinking workflows. Yeah, yeah.
again.
So yeah, that's pretty much what my current stack looks like. But I'd actually like to flip the question and ask you. So if you had to choose your
Hmm.
top areas right now where you need the most support as a marketer, I'm gonna give you a list. I'm just gonna give you the list of six in the market, right? The market acronym. So
Hmm.
managing the work, attracting the audience, repurposing the content, keeping communication moving, evaluating the performance, and or tying tools together.
All right, so everything about easy. Everything about E. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not even lie. So like for me, admin is my biggest pain point. Um, I I don't hate it, but the little touch of ADD I'm having on me, which people say I have,
Mm-hmm.
it I'll move through and just all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
So and it's not like I haven't tried. So like always tried to use productivity tools, right?
Yeah.
Um, I have I've used Asana, I've used ClickUp,
Mm-hmm.
I've used Monday, which I hate.
Yeah.
Um, it's so clunky.
I didn't
Anyways,
love
and I
it.
Monday,
I didn't love it.
it's too clunky and it doesn't. Anyways, and
I didn't love it. I didn't love it.
yeah, it reminds me of Adobe in a sense, like it doesn't set the time to build itself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just generally good calendars, reminders,
Mm-hmm.
always set things. One thing I tend to love though, and that has worked for me is WhatsApp. When WhatsApp came up with the events thing,
Mm.
it's a game changer. I use it a lot. I've talking to somebody, I would say, oh, we should meet. I just drop that in events. Meta has made things a little bit easier for us, to be honest
Yeah,
with you.
sure.
But
I actually use that event. I use that event thing for my real estate practice. So if I have to, yeah, if I have to do showings, I just put
mhm.
it. It's there. It makes things a lot easier. You have less places to go to do it.
Yeah, thing.
Mhm.
So Meta has done really that, but like for me, it's definitely the administrative,
Mhm.
administration of it all.
Mhm.
I work through a wonderful workflow with Calendly
Mhm.
when I was paying for it. That
Yeah.
worked so well for
Mhm.
my admin, and then I linked it with I was using Teams at the time because I do
Mhm.
have a 9 to 5, and because of that, I know all about AI and Teams, and
Mhm.
I pay my $23 a month for Microsoft 365, so I might as well use Copilot, right?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
man, so like it was able to and then I also use Power BI to kind of run an automation to kind of
Mm.
like set things in my calendar. So I had a whole when I paid for
Yeah.
the tool, yeah. So he do my admin because I knew that leave it up to me, it not gonna work. It not. I'm gonna write it down because I'm a good old pen and paper kind of girly. So you're gonna
Yeah.
write down, set it and forget it.
Mhm.
Me that. So going back, I've used Power BI, which I discovered at my 9 to 5, which I absolutely do love.
Mhm.
Um, I've used whatever.
Calendar.
Um, thank you.
Mhm.
Then I've used um the project management, but my biggest pain point to me is everything but the E.
Mhm.
Um, one thing that I really am thinking about how to do is the repurposing, especially of content that I have.
Mhm.
With the blog that I do, that I haven't done in a nice long time, that
Yeah.
I do, I am manually doing the carousels that come out of it. I'm manually doing a lot of things still. And one of the things I really want to do is set and forget.
I think it's somewhat difficult to come out of because it's a space that we've been in as creatives who execute the
Mm-hmm.
and knowing that um or thinking that if I don't do it myself the way that I want to have it done, it's just not going to be done the way that I want it to be done. But the fact is, if you're able to set your tools and your systems up to you and to or to the brand that you're not even to you, to the brand that you're um purposing for, it can come really, really, really close to what it is that you want. And that's just a pill that we're gonna have to swallow. It's a tool, it's helping us. And we need to get yes, you swallow it. And we need to get into that frame of mind a bit more faster, I think. So when it comes to repurposing content, we're talking about turning one idea into stuff like posts and emails and captions and carousels and blogs and all them some there. And for that, the tool that I would look to would be yes, your simple AI of, like I said, my simple AI is ChatGPT. So
Mm,
once you properly prompt any AI tool like that, I believe that you're able to execute or get what you want in the closest way possible. But you have to, garbage in, garbage out. So you have to really coerce it and say, this is how it goes, boo. Do that for
mm,
me. Yeah.
mm.
Also CapCut, Canva, and then Metricool for when you're doing your content and pushing it out. It has some things in there that helps with the system. So that's what I
Yeah.
would have to say for repurposing your content. But yeah, again, I would start with the workflow for anything at all. And yes, the automation and the AI will be giving you a lot of speed. But speed is only valuable if you are moving in the right direction. So you have to know what you want, you have to know what you're doing, you have to know the intention. And you can't just rely on the tools. You need to be there too. You have to put in the work too,
Yeah.
especially.
Say if you say love for the people in the back, like, I have a friend actually, he showed me his. I can't really say that much because I don't want people to like that. So he actually built a bot. Long and short of it is that the bot literally even produces his content for him. I don't know if it pushes it out for him. I don't know if it schedules for him, but I mean it's good content. It's relevant content, and he did that because that man does 5 to 10 other things. Like I don't even know how he does what he does, but he lives his life on systems. Like he is a DJ, he's a graphic designer, he does motion graphics. He has a very heavy 9 to 5. Him, I don't know, Gulia sell banana chips, I don't know. But the man, but the way the man work, I'm always amazed to see the output that he puts out, and that's all because he's very much into systems. He's
Systems
big on systems.
your life, not only for work, just life itself. I run a household for six. I run a household of 6 persons. If I don't have systems,
Why? Hold
will
on,
burn
pause.
down.
Pause. Why? It's like, did you just come to realization that you're in a household for 6?
No.
Did it just like a while ago? Did it just because the way you said it, you're just like, crap, it's 6 people. Oh my god.
I said no. I feel that way every time. Every time. I think every time I say it, it's like Jesus.
And the place not burned down. Everybody eats.
If there, listen, systems are everything. It's not just about work and your workflow. I mean, I believe that just to live a life that is mentally not killing you, physically not about to thump you down in your face,
Gotcha.
emotionally not about to like swing him, smuffle you with a pillow.
It's like, "Ah!"
You need to have systems. That's just what
Yeah,
I think.
systems and routine. So okay, so you touched on real estate, right? I remember when you told us that you got, I think you got our first close, our first client or something like that, and you said it
Mhm.
was all with systems.
Yeah. So I created a whole system. Like my first week to a month in office, I just used to figure out, okay, this is what I'm gonna have to be doing. I'm gonna have to be doing a lot of this, and this. So what can I do to so that I don't have to be doing the same thing every single time? So I created the systems to be able to make those processes smoother and also to be able to track back with people. So things like being able to reach out to the person to see where they are in my client's journey, what they need to do next, what I need to do next, and just have everything in one space. That took a while. So like I said, the setup process, it's work, right? It's work that you have to do. Sometimes people may need to hire somebody to do it and just set up for you so that you can get the work done. But once you set up your system, things just run a lot easier and it frees up your time. And I feel like in this day and age, time is the most valuable asset because, not just because you can't get it back, but because it's such a demand.
Yeah.
so demanding because everybody wants everything now.
Oh my God.
Everybody wants everything now. Everybody wants their work to get done now. Everybody wants them food right now. Everybody wants to get their money right now. Like, and to be able to operate in that kind of fast paced environment, if you don't have systems to help you through, you're gonna start feeling like you're gasping for air.
Oh man, it's a buckle, yeah, thump the sky. That's
Mm.
the air, thump in the ear. I feel like every day I thump in the ear. But like, so okay, so you think that's the downside though of like having these type of systems automations? I know we're trying to make sure, cause quite frankly, how we are now is not how we were like even 10 years ago. We had a
Oh,
slower pace.
mhm.
Slower, not even 5 years ago, like we had a much slower pace. Like we
And
were
it's
think
not gonna change. It's not gonna slow down more. It's just not.
faster. Oh my god, it's gonna get faster.
So we have
So,
to keep up.
cause I'm
Like
gonna say,
when we were in school,
mm-hmm.
you can't expect us to behave the same way. So if you're doing a research paper, you have to go through that encyclopedia. How long did that take?
Oh my
To go
girl,
big
God
old,
library,
big old book put down so I
and
flip through the book and find what
you're
you're looking
writing,
for. Then you write it and then you have to
right?
cross out and then you put everything together after. That can't work no, my dear.
Not
That can
true.
work now. And it's the same thing. It's just a continuation of this process of just overall technology. If we don't use it, we're gonna be left behind. We're gonna be those people who go on the phone and they're like, you turned that one you're on. We, that's not cute. We can't know.
I remember in my days when we used to use paper and pencil.
Although, like you, I'm a paper and book and pen girl. But my point is my point, right? It's in that
Mm-hmm.
way to go down. So we have to be able to understand that we need to do things to keep up or to stay ahead of what's coming.
Yeah, have to. And it's as I said, it's because I was gonna ask a question, but no one just negates it. We're not gonna stop. It's never gonna stop. We're gonna keep on having to move faster. People are gonna, especially with how the people are able to get things even know the answers they can get them know, and
Mhm.
with the rise of businesses looking towards expanding or like increasing their spend when it comes to AI and automations and stuff like that. 'Cause a lot of companies are running in that way.
But
We
why
is
are they doing that? Why are they doing that? Why are they so eager to make that investment?
I mean, I'm not going to say money saving because apparently it's costing more money to run these things than to actually have somebody there. People are literally rallying back and hiring people because they can't afford it. But I think it's a lot of lines that they need the pace of things, because they have also they have to be the first to market. They have to be the first to do this innovation, and because we ourselves or not time span. The thing that you have when you look on something.
Attention?
Attention, thank you. The attention. You saw when you so much AI. The attention span is kind of like all over the place, right?
Mhm.
Me run chat Gemini and Claude already know. So yeah, so like when because our attention span is so small, like we're always moving all over the place. People are always fighting to be the first or to be more innovative or to give us more value. And I think that plus this whole we're trying not to spend that much money, and as I said, they end up spending more money because tokens are expensive.
Yeah.
um it's kind of like a space where it's we're always running. There's no more walking, there's no more crawling, there's no more breathing. It's always on this fast-paced situation that we're going on with.
Yeah. But that in itself is why it is so important to know your brand and your purpose. Because you can run all you want, but if you are running in the wrong direction, you're gonna have to run back. You're gonna have to turn around where you're really supposed to go. So you
Yeah,
don't want to waste all of that energy.
it's
So I
true.
get that. Yeah.
And it goes back to even you when you think about the system that you want to put in place.
Mhm.
You have to evaluate. You have to always evaluate and be strong and understand that this is what you want.
That
Be
is
strong in your
where,
conviction. Yeah.
that's where you have to slow down. So you have to slow down before you speed up.
Yeah. Come here, think to myself, like every day, every day at work, I'm just like, I know these are the things that I want to automate in a way.
Mhm.
And it's just because the pace of what I do is like always like this. But I'm definitely it's something that I need to complete before June. Because there are
Mhm.
things I see that, as you say, I can set it and forget it. It
Mhm.
can run through a process. And we are also extremely scared of processes. I realize as well in a process and system for some strange reason. It's very difficult for persons to break out of what they know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something I've seen. Even saying to them, "Hey, I think we need to tighten up this process. Hey, I think we need to look back on this process. There's things
Mhm.
that we can do to make this better." And some people hold so tightly to the process. How do you help people to even move away from that and just to think a little bit differently?
You have to, I believe that you have to start where they are and see how you can tweak things to be able to fit to what they're already accustomed to. And just, I think, change little by little to get to where it is that they want to go or where it is that you foresee them being to be able to be helpful. Also, you have to be able to let them understand why and how this is going to be helpful to them. So it starts before actually giving them the stuff. You have to have a conversation with them. You have to say, okay, this is what's happening right now. Ask them the question and say, what are you having problems with? Where do you need help with? Are you feeling overwhelmed with X, Y, or Z? Um, did you wish that you could do something better about this? And have them lead the conversation. So then you can say, okay, so based on what you're telling me and how you're feeling, I believe that this is how we can alleviate that. And this is where we can start. How do you feel about that? And because trying to shove something down somebody's throat is just not going to work. Like even with my systems with my clients, I have to have those conversations, and some of them I won't be able to point blank. I just won't be able to put them in my intended system fully from the jump because some of them they're just not there yet. So I have to see where I can meet them to be able to fill in those gaps until they're able to get to that point.
Yeah, 'cause I think as well too, persons keep on hearing about automations, hearing about AI, hearing about all these things constantly, and hear people saying you have to have it. You made a really great point. You have to meet people where they are.
Mhm.
Have to. And then back and how you know we're touching on adoption and change management. How do we get people to kind of adapt to these systems or tools that can be beneficial to them? You have to
Mhm.
know what really is beneficial to them. What
Mhm.
really is the problem they have? What is the solution that they want? With their in their mind, what would work great for them?
And
What would the
also,
solution look like?
yeah, and adding to that now, there's also a time factor because it's a learning curve. Learning is a process. Learning is a process. The process takes time. The process
Mm-hmm.
time. So they're gonna have to map out the time that they can take to be able to get it done. Or else they're just gonna be like, okay, I'll be telling you, you need to use this, you need to do that. But when are they going to learn how to use it? When are they going to actually do it? They have to be able to either set the time during the work time or outside of the work time or whatever it takes, or have somebody come and train them once a week, once a month, whatever it is, and just give a realistic timeline that they can get to a point. You can't expect somebody to be writing letters on Monday and then sending an automation with ChatGPT on Friday.
Yeah, it's
Takes
unfair.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, are there any tools you have tried that has totally flopped, and what happened?
Okay, for me, the tools that flopped were not always bad tools. Like sometimes they flopped because the process around them just wasn't clear enough yet. That's just really it. Like that was a big lesson for me. Like I said, garbage in, and then in this case for AI, it's sparkly garbage out. It's still garbage. Sparkly garbage. So if the information is going into the system and it's unclear, then the output will be unclear.
Hmm. I was going to say something else, but okay.
Okay, we'll start with that. And if the workflow is messy, the automation is not going to magically fix it. it's just messy. It's actually just gonna make the mess move a lot faster. That's it.
But I wanted to fix it. Fix it, automation.
It's not. So now I believe that you have to simply um or no, you have to simplify first. So you simplify first and then you automate. Don't automate confusion. It's just gonna be faster confusion. It's like if you have to do I have to say this, if you have to go to the toilet and then you take a laxative, what's gonna happen?
Plop,
I
plop,
don't know
plop, 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 plop.
what was the first thing that came to mind, but I think you get the
Plop, 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 plop. No, I feel that's still enough because I mean, even with prompting, I watch a lot of these things online. These cause people like to give you this content about this you can have this video. It's so easy. I'm like, no, it's not, guys. Stop lying to people.
never easy.
It's
There's
it's
always work. They said it like you have to do nothing. You always have to do something. Stop being
it
late.
is and
Like,
it's so long too. Like it's and the prompting can get so long and you're constantly going back. So it's like to even get to the point of doing some of the stuff that you see people doing. The all right, prime example. There's a post on involving AI, and apparently Martin Scorsese is now using some tool to the storyboards now.
yeah.
For him, it's a way for him, because he's a director, so he's the best director ever. He's kind of sitting down there having to kind of translate to somebody that's a storyboard artist what he really needs for this scene. This tool is helping him not really cut them out, but to kind of whatever he has in his head, able to put it in a space where he can now see it. People
Right.
on the post were like very upset that he's using it. But I said, first of all, I know for a fact the way that his thing looks so detailed, we can tell him take some time for this. And he's not a spring chicken. So we know the man takes some time to do this, first of all. Because it's not just a simple, put a man in the corner, da, 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 da. You have to be so detailed in prompting to get it on the first go. Then I'm also saying the best thing to do for a storyboard artist is to figure out how to do this so they can charge a little bit more because they can do it, and B, that's now a system that they have in place or something a part of their process they have in place to make the load a little bit lighter.
Yeah.
And also, I said, and I'm now just aggressively saying under the post now, the things that people do with AI that you see, it takes a lot out of them and it takes a lot of time.
It takes time. And then in that too, depending on which tools you're using, it takes money because you're limited. It's not unlimited. It's not unlimited. It takes time and it takes effort. So the humanity is still completely necessary.
Yeah.
There's something about context engineering is so very important. That's something that I think everybody who uses AI has to pay attention to and has to learn and implement when they're doing any form of AI prompting. Context engineering is so important, especially for local and the Caribbean side of the world.
For the people in the back of the class, the value of
Mhm.
them. What is what is
She said it, not me. Don't come for me. Don't come for you. Go ahead.
what
That
is
can't
context?
unravel.
Huh?
That can't unravel.
I know him so fully done. Anyways, what is what is
Context
context
engineering.
engineering? Yeah.
So, all right, what was I saying before? So, for example, when we're looking within our local space, um, we need to know certain nuances, or we need to be able to allow the system to understand the nuances of, for example, Jamaican or Caribbean culture, if we're going to be doing something or creating something that's supposed to speak to your audience. So, being able to provide that context or set up the context for whatever it is that you're doing so that the AI understands who it's speaking to, what it's doing this thing for, so it's able to create this
Mm-hmm.
thing that you need that would be useful, that would be um, accepted more readily and more easily, even with the branding. If you don't feed who the brand is, who it's speaking to, if it's a visual thing, what it's supposed to look like, what colors am I using, what fonts am I using, where is this going to go? So what's the actual context of what you're trying to prepare? You have to be able to do that whole thing of context engineering and piecing those
Mm.
first to be able to evaluate. Marley, they work. Yeah, so setting up that context for your prompt even beforehand, you know that in your Cloud or your Chat GPT, you can actually put all of these rules in place. That's really what it is. All these rules to tell you
Mm.
how to respond or what to think about when responding. You can do that too, and you should do that. Do you do that?
Mm-hmm. I do like well, not really that deep. I kind of just tell it what it is, what I need.
Hmm.
Give it
Yeah.
targets. Give it like basic rundowns like that. What's the target audience and stuff like that. I
Hmm.
try to be exact what I need it for as
Hmm.
possible and give personas. I think that's actually what I do. I don't really do. I don't really like the rule building thing. I'm very vibe coded in my stuff. I mean, I'm on a bag of excitement. But I tend to tell it very distinctively what what is it that it needs to get done, why it's
Hmm.
doing it, what the target is, who the target is, I should say, and all the
Hmm.
rest of it. That's how I like to prompt.
For
So
me,
talk to us about this.
oh, sorry. Come again.
I said, tell me about this rules thing.
Oh, yeah. So for me, because I deal with multiple clients and they have multiple needs or differing needs rather, I tend to I probably make a whole document. So I sometimes I'd use AI to create these rules for me. So I'll speak to it, have a conversation with it, and then create these rules. So these are my guidelines for whenever I'm talking about um Pink Panther or whenever I'm talking about Donkey Kong
Mm-hmm.
or whenever I'm talking about whatever else. Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown. Considering the fact
Yeah.
that we spoke about earlier, Charlie Brown is kind of funny. But yeah.
Yeah. So I have those things that are set, right? So those are set. And then depending on what I'm doing, I may add additional things to it after. It just saves me time because I'm always using Donkey Kong and Charlie Brown and whatever else I said before.
You know who's jumping right into GPT to say what you're talking about, right?
But
As if
in
I've actually
that's what I do with my folders. So I create folders for my different brands.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
I
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah, yeah,
upload
yeah.
the context for each folder. That's it.
You know,
And it
so
helps
weird.
so much.
You
It
know, so
even
weird.
reminds me, like, I remember one time it said, actually, Monique, based on, like, don't forget that you need to. I was like, okay, chat, you tell me. And, chat is always very agreeable, right? Chat is always so,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
because I had put the context in before it, like, excuse me. So, yeah,
But I've
it's a,
noticed that about chat, it's been kind of pulling from these things. So like I'll be talking to you about something, and they're like, "Oh, so since I saw that you're speaking about this is how it would work with this, and this is how you tie it in with this." I was like, "Brother, why in my life so?" Maybe not. Like I'll ask it like how to explain. I'm me because like I'll ask it how to explain some stuff. Like I'll ask it something, and it'll
mhm.
be like, considering the fact that you are in this field of blah blah blah. This is how it would. But this is what it really would mean to
It
you.
saves
And it
everything
goes,
that you did to it, unless you go into the back and delete, like, delete this conversation, delete that conversation. If not,
mhm.
pull from everything that you've said before.
You know what's interesting though? Chat seems to listen so much better than a man. And remember, we always reach here. We're always here. No, but seriously though, sometimes some of the responses I get from chat, it's
Yeah.
it's extremely. it's very interesting what them what the responses are and how it has linked to something before. So I guess it's always kind of trying to be personalized in a way.
Yes. So and especially in the most recent iteration of chat, they've adjusted it so that it's now automatically pulling from the conversation that you had before. But even so, you have to also remember that chat, whether you have a male or female chat, he, she, they hallucinate.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
make up. And it's very convincing. So you have to be really careful about it even now. You have to,
yeah.
even when you get the information, it makes up statistics sometimes. Do you know that?
I know that. I know
And
that
significance.
when I use it to help write my blogs,
Mhm.
I always double check all the things that it gives me. I don't believe any stats that it gives me. I
Mhm.
need to know, look and see how, like, for example, it'll probably pull a stat from 2018, 2017.
Mhm.
We're now in 2026. More than likely, something else has happened, or the statistic is out of context. So
Mhm.
while I am doing all of that, because I have like I know what I want to say. I just need chat to make it nicer. But
Mhm.
then I will ask it to pull and say, just give me some statistics to support it. But I
Yeah.
feel like I literally have to go back in now and research everything that is giving me
Mhm.
just to make sure. But that is why I've included Notebook LM in my
Mhm.
blog writing.
Mhm.
Um, I use it to gather sources, or and then I'll ask questions in the chat part of it to kind of make sure that I understand what I'm reading. I actually use it for school as well. When I had to rush and do, I spent way too long sitting on that homework, and I never me 2 nights before.
Oh
Don't look at me
dear.
like that. Don't look at me like that. But
I'm
that's
not
how I
looking
have
at
Notebook
you.
LM. But that's how I have Notebook LM. I literally said, I need to know everything about all the models of public relations, and I got it, and it's the audio overview, and I said, okay, I'm gonna do press agency. That I like that one nicer, and that's what I feel like I can do. And then
Mhm.
it actually helped me to kind of like get sources for another idea I had when it comes to it, how I want to take the project. So it really put me through it. So what I do is that I use it because I as I say, everything I move fast. I do 12
Mm.
million things. So I
Yeah.
tend to use Notebook LM to bring my sources together. And what I
Mhm.
like about it, it will give you a summary of the source. So, and it gives you cited and non-cited. So
Nice.
you can say you don't want anything that's not really cited when they're doing
Mhm.
their research or whatever. And then you can say a summary of it. And then from there, it will say, all right, because you're reading the summary, it's like, this is not aligned with what I want to dig deeper in, or what I
Yeah.
want to kind of pull from, or what I want to know. When now I've reached a point where I've cleaned up all my sources, I'm able to know, get a proper summary of the sources and understand what they're saying, ask questions, and then from there build out my blog a little bit better. And that's how I have kind of counteracted that stats especially thing that I have with chat, or I have
Mhm.
with like most of the AI stuff. Because a lot about, and I see this post a lot, we tend to stick to one tool
Mhm.
all the time and think
Yeah.
that tool should answer all of our questions or all the things. We need to say to ourselves, what do I we spoke about it earlier, what do I need this tool for? What am I trying to accomplish? What is the problem? What's the solution? And then from there, kind of dig deep and say, all right, this is the best tool for this. I utilize it for this. And how does it complement or help to integrate with something else that I've been doing, or another tool that I'm going to be using?
Mhm.
I think for me, that is how I have had to look at all these things that are around me that can be used to enhance my writing, help me focus on the blog I want to write, help me with even this
Mhm.
itself. I rely on these things to kind of help me go through the process, because quite frankly, I directly say we have evolved. We're not
And
back in the days now.
it's a process. It's a long process. So you see, using the tools, it just helps you to cut down the time because you know exactly where you want to go, where you want to be, right? So it's not pulling you all over the place, just helping you to get from point A to Z faster.
So, I'll talk about some wonderful wins now. Tell us about your biggest automation or AI win.
Okay. One of my biggest automation wins was during my work with Sportsmax.
Mm.
Yeah. So Sportsmax was actually a very fast-paced client, and we had a very small team. Like sometimes it was just me. I'm gonna be completely honest. Sometimes it was just me. Sometimes it was
Mm-hmm.
me plus two people. And we were producing up to hundreds of marketing assets every week. So we had to create a system that allowed us to move quickly without falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing that we fixed was how the information came to us, because before it was like Tom, Dick, Harry in my ears, on my computer, in my screen, everywhere. And of course, again, garbage in, garbage out. So we created a simple intake form that was easy enough for their team to use, but structured enough to give us the information that we needed to be able to get
Mm-hmm.
things done. Right. So there was that form. And then we created a system. We created a system, of course, that allowed the client to see exactly where we were in the execution process. And then that one reduced the number of calls and emails that were interrupting the actual work. Because, like I said, it was a very small team. So once you call me, I can't be working at the same time. That was not it.
Mm-hmm.
On the execution side, we also built template systems. So the template systems allowed us to produce faster while keeping things consistent. And for the brand, especially a brand like Sportsmax, it has to have that consistency. It has to have that quality. It has to have that look and feel throughout. So being able to create that system, that template automation, we had template automation, and it cut the execution time by like 80%, which was amazing. Amazing. So that was a major turning point for me, because it showed me that automation isn't really just about all these fancy tools. Sometimes it's just about
Yeah.
structuring the flow of information. Like I said earlier in our conversation, reducing the friction, and then creating these repeatable systems that protect the quality of the output. So automation starts before the tool. Starts before the tool. It starts with
Yeah.
the process. Yep. That was my biggest win.
I
That
love that.
experience was my biggest win.
That sounds like I'll be going for true. Because I mean, you just said like 100,
Yeah.
and you see that templating thing. Even just, I think it was when I was working with you at that place, where I kind of got into like this. Don't say it. Mind it, do the thing again. The smart, the smart, the smart object, and through smart object, I was able to. After a while doing breakouts,
Mm-hmm.
I was able to kind of make a change on one and make it, and all of them would do the change. So that's something that I started doing in my workflow. Smart object is
Biggest.
something biggest win. And then on top of that too, understanding what goes on the breakouts itself based on the size, and understanding that whole thing, and owning that the rules of that
Mm-hmm.
really helped me as well. Because the other
Yeah.
day I think I did some artwork, and it was four tactical, three brand, four tactical, and I did like full breakouts for social and Google,
Mm-hmm.
and I added GIFs to it because of the information. And
Mm-hmm.
the breakouts didn't take me that much time, only because I was able to kind of work through a process that I had, or a system I had, a how to do it. And it's just the size in itself, and what the size should look like, and how the size should sit, and how the different elements should sit on the actual what's it called, on the artboard. So it really is about implementing these systems and processes that can really help you to just maximize your time and productivity.
Yeah. And the process is based on also based on your audience and how you're trying to communicate. Remember, design
Mm-hmm.
is just visual communication. We have to be
Yep.
able to do things in a certain way that gets straight to the point for the person who is looking at it. So depending on where they are as well. Like you mentioned, you had social stuff versus Google ad stuff. those are two different spaces and they require two different ways of communicating. So you also have to know how to do that and implement that into your process as well from the beginning. But once you have all those things done, like I said, it cut down 80% of time. So that's how we're able to just churn those out like a factory.
Yeah, I mean, and they already think we're a factory, so.
That's another conversation. That's a whole other conversation.
One thing people always think that freelancers are AI from jump, like how did I do? I just patiently wait for your communication. We are robots. We are robots. We press button. Click, click, click. Anyways, so yeah, we're not just that, guys. A lot goes into this. Just trying to figure out the process and the system is another thing. Is a fear. And one thing with me and Claude is my boo. So me and my Frenchman Claude, right? Or French boo Claude. Anyways, one thing when me and him start partying, it's a whole day affair to the point where I forget that I have things to do. So I'm very mindful when I sit down, and I don't pay for cloud. I have free. I
That
use
can
that
happen.
free. Huh?
That can happen. That can happen.
And so when Claude decides he's over me and I am gonna put on timeout because I have used up all of my free time, and my man decides that he doesn't want to hear from me until in the AM. I have to park. But
And go to the next one.
no, it's wow, yo, oh my god, the way I bounce through, just bouncing and just seeing, as one got the next one born, so you have to just kind of bounce through. But but no, I quite and it is over time and like growing and just being a part of the speed of how our industry is going, really adapting things that can make everything so much cleaner. I wouldn't say easier, but more like cleaner, and it can take some of that heaviness off of your plate. Is a joy. It's such a joy because you can be more strategic, and you know how I feel about designers being strategic. It's very important for us to be extremely strategic. So a lot of people don't think, or people think that we're just having execution. A lot of designers themselves think all we do is execute. Babes, you're not wrong feel if you think that's all you do.
But that's the thing, and the thing that we don't realize, you and I and persons who are trained like us, the majority of overall designers out there are just there to execute. They're there to be told what to do. So you have that set versus the sets that are more like us who actually think through the communication, because we are communicators. We are not just simple designers. So it is a whole additional experience that we have to go through to get these things done the way that we do. So I mean, appreciate. That's all I'm saying.
And pay us. And pay us. When we caught you, babes, you get enough from we. You get enough. You get just pass the moolah.
We
It's
care.
not a what business about your brand? What business about your friend?
We care, but we also gotta eat. I'm just saying.
we like nice things too. We like vacations and sushi. So please pay us money. I joke here, but the way the whole food costs. I remember when
Cooking is it.
girl, I remember I used to go to the supermarket and those 15 grand may I pay for groceries. My grocery bill is almost 30. I am one person with a dog. It's $30. And I haven't bought my meat as yet. So,
Like I said before, that's a whole other conversation, because when you start talking about my family and sticks, so we're not with I'm just saying.
we keep us bring my chest down to the ground. Oh my god. It's true though. It's true. Something is that even some senior designers still thinking execution, and I feel like, how you still think execution, friend? That's not the only thing that you do. But I said that's another conversation for another day that we can always sit down and kiki about. because
Yeah.
I'm very much into designers thinking of themselves as strategic people, strategic branders, and we also need to look at the processes, as you rightfully said, to kind of make it easier so that when we're designing, we can put our best foot forward and provide and give our clients extreme value. Because that's
Mhm.
something that they talk about, when we put our costings there, they think it's just click, 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 robot, robot, robot. But what you're paying for is expertise and understanding of fundamentals, and then understanding the space even now and how to use what we know as a fundamental to have you stand out more. It's not just what you give us, because you're going to give us something. First of all, we're going to know it's AI generated anyways. So now after that, we have to look at this AI generated caption, etc., and see how it would work for your brand. Because that's
Mhm.
exactly what we're here to do. As you said, we're communicators. All right. So from your biggest win to some tips for our marketers and freelancers. If a freelancer marketer is listening right now and has never touched automation, what is step one?
All right. Step one is to write down the task that you repeat every week. So let's start that. Start there. Write down the task that you repeat every week.
Mm-hmm.
And don't start with a tool. You're not saying, I think I need to. No, 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 no. What do you actually do on repeat? Right? So don't start with the tool, start with the pattern. Work out that pattern. What are you doing over and over again? Are you sending the same type of email? Are you answering the same client questions? Are you manually scheduling calls? Are you recreating the same content format? Are you forgetting to follow up? Like feeling guilty in there. Are you spending too much time collecting information, or are you manually creating reports? Like all of those things. It's usually the repetitive things are usually administrative, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
So reputation is now the invitation to automation.
Oh.
Ooh!
Ra, 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 ra. Yo, clock it. As the young people say, clock it.
Like
Man, you can rhyme this. So, all right,
so
DJ.
hold on here. Repetition is the invitation to automation.
That piece of something. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, because
Yeah,
right
so
now I feel like tonight I go sit down and write that. I write all those things down that I think that I need to. The
yeah.
processes I could probably improve.
So that's where you
What
start.
do I
Once you
do?
identify those repeated tasks, then you can decide what tool or system that can support it. And you can do my whole market system check too, which I'll share with your friends and family and friends of friends. Yeah.
Listeners.
Mhm.
Yay! So we're gonna get freebies, guys. Freebies.
Yeah.
Freebies. Big up Monique for giving us freebies. We've never done that before. So big up for that. All right. So what's the mistake you see most often when people are trying to bring AI or automations into their workflow?
The biggest mistake is using AI to skip the thinking. Let me say it
Damn.
again. Using AI to skip the thinking part. People want AI to write the caption. They want it to build a campaign, create the strategy, design the system, and solve the problem, all before they have clarified what they're actually trying to achieve. Yes, AI is powerful. We all know that AI is super powerful, but it still needs the direction. It still needs us. So you still need to know the audience, you need to know the goals, you need to understand the brand voice, you need to know what you need to know what good looks like, because that's relative as well. What is
Yep.
actually good? Right? So AI can help you to organize and to test and to sharpen the thinking, but it should not replace the thinking. That is what I think
Mm.
the mistake is. You have to think.
Mm.
Your brain not go and leave.
It's not severance. Then him, that show that. Is that the show? Oh my god! Oh my god! Yeah, imagine your split consciousness. You run a one part of the work and the other way I live life. Wow,
Mm-mm.
yeah, it's true, I think that's the problem. Because that's why people always said like AI cannot replace us because people don't really know what they want.
Simple. And I agree.
Yeah. Trust me. All right. All right. How do you keep up with how fast the space is moving? And what's your learning system?
Honestly, I don't try to keep up with every tool. Do you know how many I went to the Disruptive Leadership Conference in May? It was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
There was a speaker there named Cliff Worley, and he had told us the amount of AI tools out there at that point in time, and it was about 43,000 tools. And he said he checked it this morning, or 48, some 40 odd thousand tools. And he checked it that morning, and he said that a week or two before he had done another talk and checked, and it was in the 30s. So, honey, I am not keeping up with that. I am
Not a time.
not a robot, despite what any of my clients or children think. I'm not a robot. I cannot keep up, and I like my sanity, and that's not going to drive me mad. So I pay attention to use cases. So, what are people using AI to improve? So, for me, I would look at things like, or as a marketer, let's just say that I look at things like research, content production, the experience for your clients, reporting, customer service, project management, those things. So, I would actually map out some time in my calendar to be able to get up to date on these things to see if there's anything new that would be helpful. And I have to put the time in my calendar or it's just not gonna happen. So I test what's relevant to my business and to my clients and to my audience. And I also pay attention to where the market is going, especially around
Mm.
profitability, and AI search and content quality, those things. But I do not believe that every business needs a new tool. I don't. I really don't. My learning system is to observe, to test, apply, and evaluate. And that's it. I'm asking questions like, does it solve a real problem? Does it improve my quality or my speed? Does it protect the brand voice? And does,
Mm-hmm.
most importantly, make the workflow better? If not, it may be interesting, yes, but it's not necessary.
It's not your. It's not your. Not. It's not in your ministry.
It's not for me. Simple.
You,
I'm
you
not
say it
keeping
so dainty.
I'm not keeping up with that. Mm-mm.
And a time. And a time for that. I mean, I feel you. I actually have learning times. I have AI learning times. I have learning blocks in my
Everybody should
calendar.
have it. Everybody should have it.
Mm. If I block it out, man, because it will run well, and I don't, and I'm still seeing, and it's so disheartening. I'm still seeing a lot of creative people going on and on about say no to AI. And I'm not saying, and I see where they're coming from. And I see the impact on things like even in the film industry. There is a show that Lisa Kudrow has called The Comeback. It's on HBO Max. And basically it's about the comeback of like an actress. And this season they tackled AI in film. And
Hmm.
AI was writing the what's it called, the script. But then the studio didn't want people to know until they were ready. They manufactured the PR for that, so they actually leaked it.
Oh.
Anyways, what happened was is that the person who was doing the stuff for the AI, the assistant that was prompting, he was also aspiring to be a writer.
Mm.
And while he knew how to prompt it, and some of the things, some of the jokes were a miss, his inclusion or his human in the loopness of it all saved one of the episodes because they could not find a joke that would land. And
Mm.
I say that to say that we are still necessary. Going back to even the storyboard conversation with Martin Scorsese, as a storyboard artist, it's important for you to learn that tool because
Mm.
it's not going to go away, and people force you to use AI.
Mhm.
How are you going beyond? How are you leading the pack in it? Because to me, You utilizing that AI cuts your workflow in half, cuts the time in half for you to do other things that you might need to that might take up your time. I cannot imagine how long it must take for you to just, I guess, draw it usually or whatever. And
Mhm.
for you to be able to prompt your way through it, and over time it's a little bit easier for you.
Mhm.
Because it's never easy to prompt your way through it or to understand what this is. Not only can you charge a little bit more for your service because you're now ahead of the pack, but also it's a situation where you've enhanced your workflow. You've eased things off for yourself. You're now able to even take on more clients for you to get more money. There are all these different things you can do. So as a creative, because mind you, every time I talk at work about AI, I always tell them that when it just came out, I was against it. I was like, it's going to take my job. I'm not going to learn this. This is horrible. This sucks. And then when I started kind of interacting with it a little bit more and just being amazed at like, being, I want this background, I can't find nowhere, and especially to be black looking for stock is difficult. And for me to be able to manufacture what I need, it does so much to my output. Something as
Yup.
simple as to help me. I use it, like when me I do work, me I do design, I realize me not really like something about this, something kind of.
Have
I
to.
literally say that I am designing this thing, I'm using this tool.
Mhm.
There's something about it that doesn't. What would you do to enhance this?
That's the thing. So
And
that's the new way of getting inspo. Because what you have Pinterest. Like, I mean, people do it all the time. It's something that's needed. It's just a different way of doing it. Like, what's the big deal? What
that's
is it
just.
really?
And you, as somebody in the creative field, you need to be able to kind of command these tools before somebody else command it for you. And that is when you're going to lose your job because
Yeah.
you are not moving forward.
Mhm.
Because babes, I tell people all the time, one time, them used to do for layout, them used to, when them doing print and something there, it's not computer them used to use, Them I use black and them something there, them I cut things and bear excitement and I print.
We ain't
I've
doing that.
seen, we ain't doing that. Like I
Mhm.
saw like a picture of the architects before AutoCAD. One line of architect just a lie down pan table, a draw. We have to move. We're at the stage now where we're using a computer to do design, and Adobe, although they're sometimes 12 steps behind, they're trying to do things to make the workflows easier.
Mhm.
We're doing ourselves a disservice as creative people to not try to learn, understand, and implement these AI tools, these automations, these things in our workflow, these systems in our workflow. We're doing ourselves a disservice.
Absolutely. So I think one of the biggest takeaways from this for anybody who is using or just starting to use or not wanting to use AI to help them work through their workflow and make things easy and give themselves some more time. You need to do it. You need it. It's a tool that you need. You don't have any more time. Like you're working through time that you don't have already. So
Mm.
how that's gonna work for you? How is it gonna work for you? You need to use it. You need to take the tool up, or you're gonna get left behind. And nobody wants to get left behind. I don't want
Nobody.
to get left behind. We don't want you to
Mm.
get left behind.
We don't want you to get left behind.
Us.
Yeah, we want you to get money, shmoney, shmoney.
Yeah.
Not only that, like this is the worst thing, because then you start getting overlooked, and you're just over there to say, "Oh, I remember when." No, 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 no.
You know what's
I
the
will never
worst?
be. I remember when.
Mm-mm, not doing
Huh?
that. The most painful thing is when you know that you have the ability, the capability, and you know that Betty over there just started doing this thing and she's now using all of these tools and she has a full 6 months of experience under her belt to your 16
Mm.
years. And
Mm.
Betty described that client you were eyeing the other day, honey, pain,
In a every language, girl. In a every
pain.
single language. But you know
No,
what's funny? When the client circles back to you because, you know, you're a little bit
because
better at it.
she didn't really understand the context engineering that was necessary because, she's only had 6 months experience. Yeah. So
Mm.
also to the clients out there, the people who are hiring as well, hire with experience so you don't have to go back again.
Yeah, because too money I spend now, you know.
That's it.
Those monos you're spending there.
That's
Those
it.
moolah. And then what makes you go right past and over Betty is having those years of experience and you're actually researching and moving forward in your field.
Yeah.
That
Progress
is
is
how
it.
you beat Betty. Yeah, man, that's how you beat Betty. Well, I said I wanted to make this an hour. It's more than, but you know what? People like our voices, so that's fine. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I think it was a very fruitful talk. I have some nuggets, something I'm gonna take away. I know you're gonna give us some nuggets. So and Marley also says thank you. She just moved a while ago. Yeah, so we both have you gave given me some amazing nuggets and some things to think about. And in this day and age, it's always great to kind of just be able to have these conversations, especially people that have been in the industry for a number of years.
Mhm.
And to kind of try to help to move our people forward. So I loved it, girl. Thank you so much.
Thank
So,
you
so,
so
so
much
very
for
much.
having me. It's been a great talk. Great, great talk. I know we have lots of other conversations we can have, but I love me some AI and systems and marketing. So thank you for bringing me on within this context. I appreciate
Yeah,
you.
yay! And obviously, when we're posting, we're going to be posting all of your socials and everything. So, guys, go follow her when it is posted. Don't be a loser. Okay? And big up MJ Brand and Media.
MJ Branding and Media.
All right. Yay!
Yay.
All right. Okay. We'll be next, y'all. All right. All right. Bye.